USS Barb, SS-220. The submarine that took the war onto Japanese soil. The Pacific Ocean, a battlefield so vast it swallowed entire fleets without a trace. Above the surface, aircraft carriers burned and battleships capsized. But below, another war raged, unseen, unheard, and unforgiving. Submariners called it the silent service. No medals pinned at sea, no cheers, only pressure, darkness, and the knowledge that one mistake meant death for everyone aboard. Steel hulls descended into black water. Men listened to screws turning overhead. Every creak of metal sounded like a coffin nail, and somewhere in that darkness, a submarine waited. Her name was USS Barb. USS Barb was a Gatto-class submarine, America's response to a two-ocean war. Laid down in Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, New Hampshire, as the world edged toward global conflict. 311 feet long, over 1,500 tons submerged, diesel-electric propulsion, 10 torpedo tubes. But what made Barb deadly wasn't steel or machinery. It was the men. Most were barely out of high school, farm boys, factory workers, college dropouts. They trained fast, because the war would not wait. By mid-1942, Barb was commissioned and sent west, straight into hell. Barb's first patrols were frustrating and dangerous. Japanese shipping was everywhere. Yet American torpedoes were unreliable. Attacks that should have been devastating ended in silence. Crews watched enemy ships sail away, unscathed. Morale suffered. Depth charges followed failed attacks. Explosions hammering the hull, lights flickering, pressure rising. Men learned how fear smelled. Oil, sweat, hot metal. Barb survived, but she had not yet found her purpose. Everything changed in January 1944. A new skipper stepped aboard, Commander Eugene Bennett Fluckey. Fluckey was brilliant, but unconventional. He believed submarines were being used too cautiously. Why wait, he asked. Why hide? He trained his crew relentlessly. Night surface attacks, point-blank torpedo shots, deck gun engagements under moonlight. Under Fluckey, Barb became aggressive, predatory. Barb stalked Japanese convoys at night. Surfaced, closing distance until enemy lookouts could see her silhouette. Then, torpedoes fired, deck gun blazing. Japanese escorts panicked. Some rammed their own ships. Others fired blindly into darkness. Barb slipped away, leaving burning wreckage behind. Fear spread. Japanese sailors whispered about a submarine that did not fear the surface. In late 1944, USS Barb received something unheard of. 5-inch rockets. No submarine had ever carried them. Mounted on deck launchers, the rockets turned Barb into a coastal terror weapon. Factories exploded, harbors burned. Supply depots vanished overnight. Japanese civilians woke to destruction, with no planes overhead, only the sea. Barb was rewriting naval warfare. January 1945. Japan was starving, but still defiant. Fluckey wanted one last mission that would shock the enemy's confidence. Barb headed north, into the Sea of Okhotsk. Frozen waters, shallow depths, minefields. No submarine should have gone there. Barb went anyway. Through periscope lenses, Fluckey saw something extraordinary. Railways, trains hauling troops and equipment, completely unguarded. No one believed submarines could strike land directly. Fluckey saw opportunity. What if we land men? The room went silent. 8 volunteers stepped forward. They understood the risk. If captured, execution. No rescue, no recognition, only duty. The landing team trained inside the submarine. They built a demolition charge using improvised parts, a timing mechanism created from household machinery. Everything had to work perfectly. There would be no second chance. Night fell. Fog rolled in. Barb surfaced silently. A rubber raft slipped into black water. 8 Americans paddled toward Japan. They landed, crawled through snow and brush. Every sound magnified. They found the tracks, set the charge, and vanished. Hours later, steel wheels echoed through the night. A Japanese military train approached. Then, the explosion. Cars flipped, rails twisted. Fire lit the sky. The Earth itself seemed to rebel. USS Barb watched from offshore. Mission accomplished. Japanese forces responded instantly. Patrol boats surged. Depth charges rained down. Barb dove, her hull groaning under pressure. Men braced for impact, but Barb slipped away, once more cheating death. USS Barb returned victorious. She had sunk 17 enemy ships, more than 96,000 tons. But her greatest victory was psychological. A train now flew on her battle flag, not a ship, a reminder. That war can be won by imagination. USS Barb proved submarines could do more than sink ships. They could adapt, innovate, terrify. Today, her story is studied in naval academies. Because sometimes, history has changed. By 8 men, a rubber boat, and a commander bold enough to ask the impossible question,